project number 5. Yes, project number 5. Project number 5 is going to feature poinsettia petals. This is the bundle, so you can see the stamp set and then the dies that coordinate. I am Amy Rich with amyrich.net. I am excited to be here once again to share a fun project with you. Now, tonight's project is going to be one where I don't do so much stamping or cutting with you, but assembly. So let me show you what I mean. I am going to start with a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 Seaside spray cardstock. I need to do some scoring with this. So what I'm going to do is make some marks on my paper to know where I need to score things. So I'm going to take my ruler, measure from this left-hand edge, and I'm going to put marks at 2 inches, just little tick marks, and 4 inches. Okay. Hopefully you can see where those little tick marks are. Then we're going to go down here on the other side and do the exact same thing. So 2 inches, 4 inches. Let's then turn that cardstock, and I'm going to make a tick mark in the middle. So this is 4 1/4. So the middle is 2 1/8. So we'll go to the 2 1/8 so that we know right where that middle is also. Now let's grab our trimmer. With the paper trimmer, we're able to do some scoring. So the first thing I'm going to do is score this 4 1/4 by 11 in half. So that's 5 1/2. So we'll score that. That's a normal everyday score that we would normally make, right? So we're going to now do some score lines that maybe we wouldn't so normally make. So we're going to take that 4-inch tick mark here and the middle of the bottom, the 2 1/8 inch tick mark. And we're going to line those up in the cutting groove of the Stampin' trimmer. And then we're going to score. Then we're going to take that 2-inch tick mark and the middle again and score again. Then we'll flip it to the other side and do that side as well, same way. 2-inch tick mark, middle tick mark, score, 4-inch mark, middle mark at the bottom, and score again. All right, so now, oh, 2 more scored. I almost put the trimmer away, not yet. Now we go up to that fold line that we already made. So we go from the middle to this fold up here at the top and score, and do the same thing on the other side. What we're going to make is what's called an arrow fold card. So with all of these scored lines now, we're going to make a super fun fold. And I don't know if you can see all of these yet, but you will. Now we're going to grab our bone folder. The first thing we want to do is we're going to flip this to the inside of the card and fold that first line, scored line, up to the 2-inch mark that we made, and just really give that a nice crease. You can open it back up and do the other side as well. So first, so when you have this, I should do the middle one too. Okay, so when you have it this far, this is what you've got. Now we're back to the front of the card, and we're going to score the other direction on the next one. So fold it, crease it. So now we've got that kind of thing going on, okay? So we'll do the same thing, open it up, do the same thing on the other side, crease it, and then, you know, we've got what looks like this. You can see the arrow coming together. Now we're going to flip it back to the back side because I just think it's easier. And then we're going to score back to the inside, or fold back to the inside again. Open that up. Do the same thing on this side. Back to the inside of the card. Now, flip it back over, and then I'm going to erase those little tick marks so that they're not so obvious there. I don't need them anymore. So we'll just do that. Okay, so now what you get, if you fold them the way that we folded them, back, forward, back, okay, back, forward, back. Here we've got our arrow point at the bottom, and I'm just using my fingernails to make sure to get that point nice and tight. All right, so there is our arrow fold card. Isn't that fun? Now we're gonna decorate this. So what I decided to grab was some of the Feels Like Frost 6x6 designer series paper on page 42 of the August to December mini catalog. It's beautiful. It's got silver foil on one side, and it's got photorealistic winter beauty, I guess is the best way to say it, on the other side. So I've cut this beautiful piece of Feels Like Frost to 4 by 5 1/4. Typically that's a good size to layer onto your card. But we're going to make a couple of marks, or at least I guess just one mark on here. So back to our ruler and our pencil, and we're working in inches. So it's 4 inches. So we're going to find the middle at the bottom of the paper and do a tick mark at 2 inches. That's halfway. Then we'll bring that trimmer back in. And what we're going to do is take that tick mark. It's hard to see actually. Take that tick mark, line it up in the cutting groove of the Stampin' trimmer, and then that upper right corner also in the groove of the Stampin' trimmer, so that we cut off an angled corner like this. Then we'll go back to that tick mark and do the same thing to the upper left corner. We're going to want to keep both of these pieces that we cut off to layer onto our card, as well as the big triangle in the middle. So this is what we've cut. I have done the same thing to a piece of Whisper White cardstock, again 4 by 5 1/4. But for this one, we only need that inside piece. So let's grab our card, and then we're going to put this big, look at how pretty it is on the back. Oh my. Oh my. So shiny and pretty. We're going to cover that back part up here. After I said, oh, it's so shiny and so pretty. And we're going to adhere that like so to the front. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So, so pretty. I'm sure the camera does not do it justice. But then instead of opening this up and putting these in the corners here, we're going to flip so that we're going to show that silver side. So we're going to switch sides essentially so that they fit into those sections on the right and the left. I'm just going to bring a piece of scratch paper or grid paper in here so that if I go off the edge with my adhesive, it's not such a big deal to get it on my table. But we're just going to adhere those into place with a little bit of a border on those two sides. So we'll do both of those. And after we do that, guess what fits right in there? That would be your white. Now, before I do that, I'm going to bring in my stamp set again for one of the amazing sentiments in this set. You can see they are larger than they appear on the front. So this one is a good example. May magic and wonder bloom this holiday. Look how tiny it looks here. It's really a lot bigger in person. So pay attention to that. It does say somewhere on the box, 65%. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to grab the Warm Wishes from Our House to Yours and the Seaside Spray ink. You could also do silver embossing if you would like. You know, that's another option to bring the silver in. And I'm just going to stamp it close to the top of my little pennant here. And then I have a little space to write. All right, so now this will go on the inside section here of the card, and it just fits together like a glove because remember, I did cut them the same way, except I should have maybe put them a little closer together. That's okay. We'll make her work. Okay, so there's the inside. Now let's add a little poinsettia fun to the outside. Let me show you what I've done. I took my VERSAMARK ink and I stamped each of the poinsettia petals in VERSAMARK on Whisper White cardstock. Then I used silver embossing powder to emboss those and make them shiny. Then I cut them out, and I also cut out 3 vellum. Actually, not this one. I'm not going to use that one. The larger of the two larger poinsettias, I cut out a vellum as well. And I'm going to be layering these together. I think it's going to have a really pretty look to it. So we put just a little adhesive on the inside and offset our vellum. Put a little adhesive, offset a little adhesive, offset the vellum. I'm not even worried about what petals are lining up with what. Doesn't matter. And then the last little one goes here, and you can offset everything so that it's all layered. You could curl the petals either down or up. I'm going to do them down for this one. I've done them up in other projects. I just love the poinsettias. They have so many pretty looks that you can give it depending on what color or what, if you use stamped pieces or just the cut and embossed petals, you know, it's just got all different looks. So now once we've got this, we're going to bring in a Stampin' Dimensional just to put in the middle back. And we're going to adhere that onto our, I don't want to cover up all of those. So this is a little more blank up here. So I'm going to put the blank, fill in the blank spot a little bit. So there's our poinsettia and these beaded pearls from the August to December mini catalog. Look at how pretty. Oh my goodness. Gorgeous. Those are best adhered with a glue dot. So we're going to do that. Grab a mini glue dot and adhere that to the middle of our arrow card. It's so pretty. All right, then I want to show you one more thing. When you are doing leaves or poinsettia petals, you can do them, like I said, you can stamp them and cut them out, or you can cut them out and emboss them. So I'm going to show you what I did with the leaves. So as you can see, when you're doing the petals, you can do both of these dies. The outside one cuts, the inside one embosses those lines in the petals. We're going to do that same thing with our leaves. So when I put them on here, you can see I cut some out already. When I put them on here, I just line them up and then run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine like this. And by the magic of television, here we go. So you can see the embossed parts of that leaf and how it's cut out around it. So pretty. Oh my goodness. Because I only put a dimensional in the middle, now all I have to do is put a little adhesive on the back of my leaves, and those can just get tucked under. And see that? Very nice. Very nice. Now the leaves in the die set are, see, now I'm covering up more of the paper. It's all right. The leaves in the die set are 2 different sizes so that you can do them both. And I think it works just great if you use both of them on one project. So isn't that fun? It's my very first arrow card. I made it when I made my sample of this. It was my very first one, and it's so fun. I'm definitely going to be doing these again. Thank you for watching, and I hope you are loving the 12 projects of Christmas as much as I am. See you next time.